If you're sitting there right now wondering, should I buy a home right now or should I wait for those prices to fall a little bit more? You are definitely not alone. This is easily the number one question that I get from buyers across the GTA right now. They're asking me, are the prices honestly going to stay where they are today? Or am I going to be able to save a little bit more money and sit on the sidelines? And it's really a tough call. There's so much fear. There's so much uncertainty. We have an election that just passed. Confidence right now is at an all-time low. So in today's video, we're going to actually talk about that. The risks of waiting, the opportunity that's actually in today's market for you. And we're going to see what makes sense based on your life goals, because ultimately, there's so many different facets to our daily lives, what's going on with your family, if you got kids, if you got a wife, if you're just a single individual, the answer that I'm going to have is going to be completely different. There's just too many different facets for me to give you a blanket statement, yes or no. So first, the inventory levels in the GTA, they've been rising. Toronto, especially on the condo side of things, more homes are actually sitting on the market for longer. We already know this. Buyers have a ton more choice these days, and the price growth has actually slowed down dramatically. So we're not seeing aggressive bidding wars unless it's a detached home in Toronto, which we're still seeing that happen. We're not seeing the 10% increase every sale happen like we were seeing for a long period of time there. And if that R word, recession, does actually start to happen here in the GTA, sellers might actually panic and you might see the actual housing prices come down even further. So we have to make sure we're making the right decision based on the information that we actually have today. So if you're feeling nervous, waiting could actually mean for you having more potential leverage. Even more price reductions are going to come potentially down that pipeline if you are nervous about making a decision. Getting into a better financial position for yourself will get rid of some of the nerves that you do have. So maybe have a bigger down payment so your mortgage payments are less, which in turn means you're paying less interest on your mortgage. Emotionally, waiting can actually give you some more breathing room to plan smarter and avoid feeling rushed in this whole big ordeal of buying a home and figuring out if it's a good time. There's so many other factors happening in this world right now, between Canada, between the US, between our election here, but there is that other side to the story where buyers don't realize waiting also has some risks associated with it as well. Right now, interest rates, they're still fairly high, we'll say, but we're starting to see that the Bank of Canada is going to signal for some more rate cuts towards the back half of 2025 and into 2026. So when the rates do drop, affordability could potentially improve if the housing prices don't go up when that happens. So buyer competition starts to come back into the market when we actually get lower interest rates. Buyers look at interest rates more than they actually look at the prices of homes, which I always find interesting because at the end of the day, you have to look at the value of the home versus the interest you're going to pay and really calculate it to see what truly makes sense for you. But traditionally, when rates drop back down, affordability improves, and we've seen it before. You get pent-up demand in the market. Maybe multiple offers could start to appear again. I don't think it will ever get as crazy as it was in 2021. But the reality is, I think we're just going to see more activity in the market because we're at an all-time low in terms of new construction. Resale condos are having a difficult time moving. When we see lower rates come in, I think we're just going to see a more natural give and take market between the buyers and sellers, a little bit more evenly distributed instead of it being so buyer heavy right now where you have all the leverage and the sellers really don't have as much leverage. I think we'll see a little bit more of a balance happen instead of these bidding wars start to take place. Now, you have to always consider the best properties out there, the ones that are in those great neighborhoods, the ones with those perfect layouts, low maintenance fees if it's a condo style. They're already moving in today's market. The ones that are not selling are the ones that are not perfect. They don't check all the boxes for all the people. They're not in the best location, and they're just not checking enough boxes to have 15 or 20 people just begging to get into that property. But if you end up waiting a little bit too long, you might get priced out. If the rates fall, the prices go up, then we just can't get that mortgage affordability, of course. And what happens now is you're just chasing the market, trying to get in at the best point. The prices will go up. You won't feel confident getting in, so you'll wait till the rates come down or prices come down, and you'll play the yo-yo game. Real estate needs to be something you buy for long term. When you're buying for an investment or when you're buying and trying to time things, it's just not possible. I would have loved to sell my stocks 2 months ago, get back into the market today, but the reality is I didn't do it. And most people didn't do it. And most people didn't sell their homes at the peak of the market. And most people aren't able to just play things perfectly. Nobody has that crystal ball. So if you miss that perfect window of opportunity, you're in the majority. You're not in the minority. So my honest advice here is you should buy or consider buying right now if you're financially ready, you're planning to stay there for at least 5 years, and the home fits into your life and into your budget. Don't go buying something where your payments are going to be insanely crazy. You're going to have a hard time affording it every single month. Don't be house poor. Enjoy the other aspects of life as well. The roof over your head is extremely important, but it's not the most important thing out there. Now, you should actually consider waiting to get into the market if you're maybe stretching yourself a little bit too thin. You think taking on this debt is a little bit worrisome. Maybe you're emotionally not ready for ownership and what comes along with that in terms of the responsibilities. And if you're buying purely because of FOMO, and you think this is the lowest it's ever going to get, so you want to get in now, you probably just shouldn't get into the market until you're making that decision without the emotional aspect. So the bottom line, you can move smartly in any market out there, but you need to buy the right property at the right time for you, not just the right property for right now. There's no perfect combination. There's no perfect strategy here. You need to know how to take the emotion out of the real estate deal. You need to get pre-approved. Look at all your numbers. Focus on the functionality of a property and ask yourself the right questions. And those questions, to me at least, are, does the home actually solve a problem in my life? Can I sleep at night with these mortgage payments, or am I thinking about them in the back of my head constantly all day as I'm hesitating to go and enjoy a dinner out with my family? Am I excited about the location? Maybe there's a park around the corner. It's perfect for your kids, perfect for your family. Or are you worried to take your family out for a walk around the block? If you answered these questions, you might actually be able to give yourself the answer, whether it's time for you to move or if it's time for you to wait. So thank you so much for watching this video. At the end of the day, it's just not the perfect time for everybody all the time, but it might be for you today. If you have any questions, you can text me. The number's here on screen, or you can grab my first-time home buyer starter pack completely free in the pinned comment or the description box down below. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Bye for now.